Welcome everyone. Today we will discuss about one very important reagent which is aqua regia. The meaning of aqua regia in Latin is royal water. So aqua regia is a freshly prepared mixture of concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio of 3:1. This is the definition of aqua regia. So the first important point in this definition of aqua regia is that it is a mixture of two concentrated acids. What are these two concentrated acids? Concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid. The last, which is very important point, is the ratio in which these two concentrated acids are mixed. And this ratio is fixed, which is 3:1. That means 3 parts it is of hydrochloric acid and 1 part is of nitric acid. And these two acids, they should be in their concentrated form. Now, what is the application of aqua regia? So the application of aqua regia is it can dissolve gold even though neither of these acids can do so alone. So you must be knowing by now that we have discussed the 3 chemical reactions of metal samples with different with air, water, or even with acids. In that we discussed that gold and platinum, they are said to be noble metals because they are not reacting with air, water, and they are not even reacting with acids. So that is why when gold and platinum, they are noble metal, they are not reacting with anything, but this aqua regia, it is, you can say, highly corrosive in nature, that it can even dissolve gold like noble metal. Aqua regia is a highly corrosive fuming liquid. So the meaning of fuming liquid is that when you are preparing aqua regia, then this freshly prepared aqua regia, fumes will come out continuously from it. So that is why it is said to be fuming liquid. So this is the property of aqua regia, that it is highly corrosive in nature as well as it is fuming liquid. It is one of the few reagents that is able to dissolve gold and platinum, and that is why it is very important. This application of aqua regia, that it can dissolve gold, is very important because there are very few reagents which can do so. So this is about aqua regia. The thing which you have to remember, first of all, its definition, its application, and also its properties. Now our next topic is also a different chemical property of metal, which is reaction of metal with solution of other metal salts. So the topic given here is how do metals react with solutions of other metal salts. So this topic, it is about displacement reaction, which we have already discussed in chapter 1. So in that, if you remember, what is displacement reaction? In displacement reaction, metal which is more reactive, it displaces the metal from its compound and forms different compound. For example, if iron is reacting with copper sulfate, now copper is less reactive than iron according to reactivity series we know. So as iron is more reactive than copper, then iron can easily displace copper from copper sulfate, and the products which you are getting is iron sulfate and copper metal. So this is the most common or the simplest example of displacement reaction, and this activity 3.12, it is also based on this chemical reaction only. Take a clean wire of copper and an iron nail. So if you are having iron nail which is easily available, you can take that, or even if you want, you can take iron metal fillings also. And copper wire also, it is very easily available everywhere, and you can also find in laboratory. Put the copper wire in a solution of iron sulfate and the iron nail in a solution of copper sulfate taken in test tubes, figure 3.4. Then record your observations after 20 minutes. If you remember that if you are preparing a copper sulfate solution, then its color will be bright blue, and iron sulfate solution, if you are preparing, then its color will be pale green. So just look at this figure. So in this figure, you can clearly understand that which test tube is containing copper sulfate solution and which test tube is containing iron sulfate solution. The test tube which contains copper sulfate solution, in that test tube you have to insert iron nail as it is shown, and test tube which contains iron sulfate solution, in that test tube you have to insert copper wire, and then you have to just put it like this and keep it aside for 20 minutes. Afterwards you have to record your observation. In which test tube did you find that a reaction has occurred? On what basis can you say that a reaction has actually taken place? Can you correlate your observations for the activities 3.9, 3.10 and 3.11? Write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction that has taken place. Name the type of reaction. So what will happen after 20 minutes? You will observe that this blue color of copper sulfate, it has turned to pale green color. And in the second test tube in which you have taken iron sulfate solution and copper wire, there you won't find any change. So in which test tube did you find that a reaction has occurred? In that test tube which contains copper sulfate solution and iron nail. On what basis can you say that a reaction has actually taken place? Because there is a change of color from blue to green of the solution. Now, can you correlate your observations for the activities 3.9, 3.10 and 3.11? I hope that you will be able to answer this question. So basically what we have to do in that activity which we discussed 3.9, 3.10 and 3.11, in that activity we discussed certain chemical reaction of metal samples which were given to air, water and then acids. And then on the basis of the chemical reactions we need to put these, or we need to arrange the given metal samples in the order of their reactivity. So that is what you have to correlate this observation with the previous reactivities. Write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction that has taken place. Like in the beginning of this activity I told you the chemical equation, so just write and try to balance it, and I think that I have already given this chemical equation for in chapter 1. Name the type of reaction, that also I told you. So this is about this activity 3.11. So whatever the questions are there, you just try to understand and try to write it by yourself in your own words. You can easily do this. I'm asking you to do this because you have already studied this thing in chapter 1. We discussed each and every point of displacement reaction in detail and which you are familiar with. So just try to understand these questions and try to write this in your own words. Thank you.